Being the president comes with near infinite responsibilities, and looking the part of a president is certainly one of the more important ones. A president must look dignified and professional, yet not overdressed. He needs to seem respectable and clean-cut, without appearing aloof. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at 5 presidents throughout history who have walked that line successfully and who have inspired men from all over the world to dress better. Hello, my name is James and I'm on a mission to create a generation of gentlemen. If you're watching this in the United States, I hope your election day is going well. We're going to begin today's video with Harry S. Truman. Harry Truman was the only president who actually had a background in menswear before entering politics. You see, he ran a haberdashery, a men's accessories store in his hometown of Kansas City. Truman cared about clothing, and he knew how important it was for any statesman to look the part. When he became president in 1945, he was most often seen in a double-breasted suit, either a light or a dark color, with large peak lapels. He wore ties in bold geometric patterns, pocket squares in complex folds. So the overall result was more of a flashy look than we would expect from a president today. However, at its time, in the mid to late 1940s, this would have been seen as a fairly restrained look, and certainly nothing out of the ordinary for a man in his position. When out and about, Truman was also pictured wearing a Stetson hat, carrying a walking cane, and even a bow tie. Truman had some interesting lapel pins, which I've noticed not many people have picked up on. He often wore a Masonic lapel pin because Truman was a member of the Freemasons. Although Truman's style is a little different from what we would expect of a president today, I think he still serves as a great role model for a well-dressed man who isn't afraid to be a little flashy and adventurous with his accessories. Ask most people to name the most stylish president of all time, and they will inevitably say JFK. But what made the 35th president so stylish? Kennedy was the first president to embrace the media, pop culture, and Hollywood, and the first president to become a fashion icon in his own right. And I think this is largely due to the fact that Kennedy allowed himself to be seen and photographed in casual attire more than any president that had come before him. Kennedy had a very distinct casual style that was relaxed and relatable, yet still very presidential. He favored a preppy style of polo shirts, chinos, knitwear and sunglasses. And with the recent popularity of the old money aesthetic, it's no surprise that more and more people now revere Kennedy's style. Kennedy was also president during the Mad Men era of slim-cut, single-breasted suits and slim ties that have simply aged better than the suits of the 70s, 80s and 90s. The secret to Kennedy's effortless cool was the simplicity of how he dressed. He wore dark, single-breasted suits with a very simple tie, either stripes or dots. No pocket square, just a small triangle of white, which really became a signature look for Kennedy. So there really wasn't much room for things to go wrong, and with his good looks and charisma, there was no need for Kennedy to overcomplicate things. Kennedy was a Brooks Brothers man through and through, right down to his bright blue boxer shorts. And I've actually decided to curate a collection of Kennedy-inspired pieces, and you can check out that collection using the link down below. Ronald Reagan was the most conservative president the US had seen in 50 years, and in many ways his style choices reflected that. In the White House, he adopted a uniform of a dark, single-breasted suit, a white shirt, a tie, often in red, and a white linen pocket square worn in a presidential fold. Reagan set and reinforced this idea of how a president should dress, and it still exists very clearly in people's minds today. However, Reagan was not afraid to represent the way ordinary Americans dress and look damn good while doing it. Off-duty, he'd often wear a polo shirt, even in pastel pink or yellow. He was also pictured in double denim, plaid shirts, and even a plain white t-shirt. Reagan also owned a ranch and had a great appreciation for Western wear and the lifestyle that comes with it. And personally, I'll say that I think Reagan looked absolutely fantastic in a pair of jeans and cowboy boots. Reagan even wore things that were very adventurous and would actually be considered cultural appropriation today, like a sombrero and getting dressed up for St. Paddy's Day. The thing is about Reagan, he knew when to take himself seriously and when he didn't need to take himself seriously. He had many sides to his personality, and he wasn't afraid to express them with his clothing. So this video mostly skews toward modern presidents because I want it to be relatable and useful to the way you might dress today. And for that reason, I think we should take a look at Barack Obama. Barack Obama's style was very simple, very minimalist, but very, very presidential. During his presidency, Obama was known for only wearing either navy or grey suits, always single-breasted. And he actually gave an interview to Vanity Fair one time explaining why this was. He said, "You'll see I only wear grey or blue suits. I'm trying to pare down decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing, because I have too many other decisions to make." And this was a very popular idea in the late 2000s, wearing the same thing every day so you didn't have to think about it. We saw a lot of tech entrepreneurs doing a similar thing, like Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs. However, I will say, Obama's uniform of a navy or grey single-breasted suit, white shirt, tie, and American flag lapel pin was infinitely more stylish than anything you would see in Silicon Valley. Obama was proven to be right about playing it safe when in 2014 he finally broke the mold and wore a tan suit to a press conference about ISIS. Perhaps to his surprise, Obama was tremendously scrutinized for wearing such a casual suit while discussing a serious matter like terrorism. The lesson we can learn from this is that, as well-dressed men, yes, we can experiment, it's fun to try something new, but there is a time and a place, and at certain times in our career, we need to be more conservative with our clothing and play it safe. I really would be doing you a disservice if I didn't end the video by talking about Chester Arthur. So Arthur was the 21st president of the US, serving from 1881 to 1885. Arthur was the only president who was so well known for his fashion sense that he even developed sartorial nicknames like the Gentleman Boss and the Dude President. Arthur was certainly the closest we've ever had to a dandy president. He was known for being a socialite of the Northeast, and his clothes were part of his lavish reputation. He owned 80 pairs of trousers and changed them multiple times a day. He wore eccentric facial hair with side whiskers and a large moustache, and was known for throwing extraordinary parties at his Manhattan townhouse. Arthur's style was very much of its time: the silk scarves, the frock coats, the high hats. So there's not a whole lot we can steal from him other than his idea of dressing to impress. However, I must note that Arthur was president back at a time when it wasn't so necessary for a president to appear relatable and more like an ordinary American. It was okay to use clothes to show your elevated status. Gentlemen, if you are interested in presidential style, I highly encourage you to check out the full video I made about JFK. In this video, I explore not only what he wore in the White House, but also his classic preppy style. And remember to shop the Brooks Brothers collection of JFK-inspired clothing using the link down below. Thank you very much for watching, gentlemen, and I'll see you in the next video.